using that mic?
You can just
Or
leave it on the
just,
table.
okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
All right.
Mason, are you ready to start?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. So, remind me how to say your name. That's a good
My
start.
name is Leah.
Okay. So she's going to be doing a quick presentation, and then afterwards we've got Darren as well, who's going to be sharing something after you finish. So yeah, we've got a few today, but I'll let you get started, and everything's set to record, I think. So you're all good.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this today's talk. My name is Aulia Nadila, but you can call me Leah. I'm master student from University of Nottingham, majoring human-computer interaction. So if you guys quite not familiar about that, it's more on UI UX designer, product designer. So there is a sub sub major in computer science called HCI. So today I will talk about how my master journey broadened my perspective as a UI UX designer. Before I start, do you guys know where I come from?
I'm thinking Malaysia or Singapore.
Indonesia. Yeah, true. So I'm from, actually, people more know this place. Do you guys know where's this?
Bali.
Yes, it's Bali. So when I talk to others, people are always knows Bali more than Indonesia. So this is Bali, where the originates from the Indonesia itself. So and Indonesia have 77,500 miles away from UK. So I live here and the UK there. So it's very far away, and we have a 6-hour distance for the British summertime. So I'm very thankful for this opportunity, who can have a chance to tell my journey, my story, because I'm coming from the far country. So yeah, this is a little sneak peek for about my country. And this is a glimpse of me before I come to United Kingdom, not especially in Nottingham. So beforehand, I work as a UI UX designer, 5 years of experience, previously in bank, and then education startup. Lazada is part of Alibaba Group, e-commerce startup, and the last one is SME products. And I also become a content creator, sharing about my journey since I come to UK on my TikTok. So my TikTok is iuix.lia. If you guys have TikTok, you can follow. And I also building my community and boot camp. So there are young people who likes or who want to learn about UI UX design. So I give the place to give them opportunity to learn about UI UX design. Therefore, because I feel like I want to deep dive about UI UX design, because for the context, my previous bachelor was engineering physics, which is very different with human-computer interaction and UI UX design. So therefore, I uh, decided to continue my master's degree in HCI, University of Nottingham. So this is a year ago where I felt incredibly indescribable feelings when I finally come to UK and studying here. So back to the topic, how the master's degree broadened my perspective as UI UX designer. So before I come to UK, I feel like UI UX designer is only designing the interface on the digital products. So I'm always benchmark on the dribble. So these are the reference of UI design on dribble. If you are aware, if you likes to see how to make the good interface of app or website, people are usually refers to dribble. So yeah, what I did on my previous work is also like this, always on the interface. So therefore, I want to know what's the area, especially in the UK, that beyond the digital products. And then when I come to this place, to this country, especially in Nottingham, I learned many things. So this is the illustrations of what I did on my school. One of them are telepresence robots. So it's basically my current projects now that I will tell you after this. So the first one is about telepresence robot, where um, I design the screen for the robot, not only on the screen. So it's very um, unbelievable because I can build the interface on the robot. And the second one, there is a virtual reality, mixed reality. So in Indonesia, usually we still become the customer, not the builder. So on my study, we are encouraged, the lecturer are encouraged students to make by themselves, which the laboratory of computer science give us the facility of the virtual reality products called sorry, I forget. It's called Meta Glass. Do you know?
Meta glasses. Metaverse.
Yes.
Virtual metaverse, like the big glasses that you got.
Yes, yes,
Metaverse.
exactly. Virtual reality. And the last one is head-up display. So it's also unbelievable for me because I can see clearly with my own eyes that the UI UX design can implement on the screen on the screen in front of you when you are using the car. So there is a digital display in front of your car. So it's very really broaden my horizons that, oh my God, I feel like, oh, on the country like UK, the technology is very massive. So this is one of the projects that I did, which is the mixed reality one. I choose virtual reality combining with the real life. So the project is about how can I make the performance, literally the entertainment performance in the train station. So I use the aspects. I use the aspects in train, in the station, such as the ticket machine, and then if you see the result, so I will play. So I need to scan the barcode first, and there is a guidance to encourage people. Are you bored waiting for the train? So therefore, I make a mini AR performance in Nottingham railway station to make them less boring. So there is a barcode on the poster.
To unlock the dance experience, be passengers.
Once the poster is scanned, an AR avatar appears in front of it and greets the user. The avatar then offers three different interactive options. A. T. Visit the customer information board for a light comedy moment. When the user chooses the dance path, the avatar invites them to find the EMR statue, which is located in the main area of the station, close to the departure information board and main entrance. So the user search and go to the location. When the user arrives at the statue and scans that location, the avatar reappears and this time ready to The user is prompted to choose a dancing style such as hip hop, jazz, or arm dance, and also user can select the audio type related to the station ambience such as signal alarm, busker song, and screeching train. It's allowing them to personalize the performance experience. User also invited to dance together to transforms them from a passive viewer into an active participant, creating a playful, memorable moment of. Yeah. So this is one of the courseworks that I did. It's also about area augmented reality, which combine real life, real aspects with the virtual projects. And continue for the project example 2, which is my dissertation project. It's about designing conversational AI chatbot using human-centered design and system thinking approach. Maybe if you are not quite familiar with the UI UX design, it's more on technical things, but hopefully understandable about the meaning. So this is my dissertation project that already just submitted a week ago, like 2 weeks ago. So I choose this because I found that managers in the UK are rarely still not understandable about the empathy to their subordinate. So there is 36% worker of the managers that not do the empathy well to their subordinate. So the problem is usually because manager always going into focus more on the performance rather than the teamwork, means they have a stress and burnout among managers, and then more focus on performance over people. And the last one is because lack of training and organizational support. So therefore, I introduce conversational AI chatbot where the manager can train their empathy using this chatbot. So I use the human-centered design approach with the Epitome framework. Epitome framework is come from the MIT journal, where there is a standardization about how to have an empathy. So I combine two of them. So this is the before the existing design that I collaborate with the AI engineer. So you can see that this is not still MVP, still not that good with the button here, and then the virtual Mary is not represents the subordinate, the employee, which this is like train role-playing simulation to make the manager have a real conversation to get a real feedback as well. So this is the prototype demo for the iteration about what I did. So I make it on Figma like this. I changing all the designs based on the user research, asking to the real users and managers mainly in Nottingham. So sorry. So I reach out. Sometimes I reach out directly to city center, like, do you mind to fill out my form? Do you mind to get a quick interview? Because I really, as a designer, we should know about what the users need. So we really avoid about the assumptions. So this is the current design that I made, and this is informations categories. What's the simulation that the managers want? So there are 4 aspects like workplace, healthcare, education, and customer service. And if the manager click the workplace categories, so there will be a member simulation. For example, Leslie, web designer, they have ongoing heavy workload pressure, so it's easy for her to have a burnout. So there is a start practice, and then there is a chatbot page where it starts with the Leslie first, and then here's the manager response. So I coach to make manager easy to analyze what's went wrong with his response, and what's went well. So, and also the epitome one that I mentioned before, I put it on the on the right side to get a guideline to make sure that the manager will always follow the rules. So I realized that designing the chatbot is not that simple. Even when you see ChatGPT only with the search bar and the text afterwards, but as a designer, we should understand the prompt engineering behind that, and also what's the best approach on a design side. For example, like this, who always give a real feedback to the manager. So we should make it personalized. And the last one, there is a summary analysis to the manager. What's the areas that can be improved, and what's the next recommendations, along with the overall score. For example, 62% on each epitome, because the epitome context, epitome aspects have 3 aspects, consist of emotional reactions, interpretations, and explorations. So back to PowerPoint. So yeah, after I finish my project, I realized that there are many differences between UX in Indonesia and UX in the UK. So first, for the design orientation aspects, in Indonesia, the designers are highly resourceful and adaptive to balance business goal with creativity. And we are usually on a face-based environment, and strong sense of community for learning and collaborations. However, in UK, I feel like at least when I'm a student, I feel like the UX should focus on the research part, since my university is also part of the Russell group, so we should have a decision based on like seeing journal, reading the journal first, and then evidence based on the previous state of the art. And yeah, and also in the UK it's very encouraged to have an ethics. So it's what I really realized that in UK is always about privacy. So before I go to ask the user to interview them, I should make the ethics to make sure that they are willing to give their thought. And the second one is process and methods. In Indonesia, UX process is still rely on design thinking. So therefore, when I come to UK, I realized that many process are going, such as human-centered design and systems thinking, where it's still rarely used in Indonesia. And usually the designers are multi-skilled, like UI UX engineer, end-to-end process, compared to UK, who have a UX researcher itself, and then UX designer itself, and then UI designer itself. So it's quite different and diverse. And the last one, collaboration and professional culture in Indonesia. Designers are versatile, wearing many hats, which is very good. They can bring the position and understand on a business side and then the engineering side, and also growing open about the feedback and critic culture. And in UK, I feel that clear role definitions, even there is a service designer which should understand about the system like the whole system, and the collaboration is horizontal. So that's all from me. Thank you very much to hear about my story. If you have any questions, I'm very open. Thank you.
Question for you. You know, as a UI UX designer, with the new changes of the products in AI, these new products that I was actually testing last week, you can generally just put in a few prompts in and ask that to design user experience or user interface in this case, and generally designs the whole thing. How do you feel about it?
Oh, yeah. Like Lovable, right? Or Galileo AI, who can make
Pretty much the whole thing, yeah.
the whole design just in a seconds. Okay, nice question. So, yeah, as a designer, I'm already tried about their performance to generate the actual design, but I think there is no human touch there. So it still feels rigid, still feels not that what I want, like that. So turns out at the end it becomes a reference benchmark, but turns out we still need to make it by ourselves on Figma, because we are the designer who understand the whole process from the user research part, which is already asked about the user's perspective on the interview, and then doing the questionnaire. So we are the only role that knows what's the translate design that best that suits to the users. So
From a user perspective, do you think that people would care about the thought process behind the design, or they just want to see something that's functional based on like AI tools essentially?
okay, cool. So on the users, it's usually they will more focus on the functional things, but the functional things is actually comes from how we understand the users. So if it's not functional, the user will not use it. So therefore, we always avoid the assumptions, even though they are not care about the process behind that. They only care about the interface. But what we do is because based on their thought. So uh, without that, without he, without their perspective, the design will comes as just assumptions, and absolutely it will not sustainable.
But don't you think a tool can get better research than us humans?
No.
I'm not putting you on the spot there, but I just want to know a bit of your opinion, because I spoke to you about to Fazan as well, my UI UX designer. He gave me a similar answer to you. I'm just trying to understand from a designing perspective.
Empathy is a big thing.
What's the like, we tested it with the tool, and we developed as a HR tool that I told you about. We give it a similar prompt, and we give us a similar design. I would say it wasn't really much of a difference between what we design and what UX design. So
Yeah.
we design as well to what an AI has given us. I'm just trying to find why not use an AI and a human one.
So I agree. AI can get you obviously a lot further down than it can, but you still need a designer. And a perfect example is that salon which just spent millions of pounds on a designer, right? Because he knows that design is money. So these billion-dollar companies, they need designers. They need top designers to look and feel. Obviously, the research. Yes, you can get a significant amount of research by using AI, but you still need to speak to humans. You still need to
That's an
speak to
extension
users.
essentially more than
Yeah, so it's human-centered design is what I actually refer to it as, not user-centered design, it's human-centered design. And one of the things actually, if you go back a couple of slides to the difference between, just one more, there we go, right, cool. Yes. So when I was looking at that, I've hired loads of designers, I've built design teams, right? And roughly I might be able to put on this as well, because obviously in terms of roles, right, it's all recruiting. I always try to hire the guy that could do everything, or the lady that could do everything, right? And ultimately, they've always been good at one thing or the other. So they're really good at front end, and that's where what would attract me to somebody is like, can you make it look amazing? They can, but then they wouldn't be able to. They'd be able to do UX, but they wouldn't be able to do what a service designer would do.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
in terms of the UK, where we're talking about structured roles or specific roles, we've got to remember in the UK, lots of regulation, lots of red tape, right? So you need to gather the evidence. There's a lot of it. Whereas I don't know what in Indonesia, because I've not been, but my understanding probably is you can probably get things out a lot quicker, basically through. So I think there is a need for service designers, especially in public sector work,
Yeah.
for specific roles. Obviously you hired as well, haven't you? For I'm assuming for a lot of
Yeah,
roles.
it's what Martin was basically saying. The designers, the process for designing from a product-based company or product-based business is, okay, what does the actual user actually want from the product? An AI tool can't really tell you that. I mean, depending on the algorithm, what you input into the algorithm on the AI, it will get, Martin said it will get you halfway there. So, yeah, people like Leah, they will probably be able to.
Add emotions to it, I guess.
Yeah,
More like an emotion.
But also, you've got to remember, it's pulling it from sources that you don't know from. Well, we do know where it's from, because the majority of it's from Reddit. Alright? So it's pulling it from research sources. It's not pulling from the sources that you
I
want.
tested, yeah, look, you run a deep research on an AI tool,
Yep.
and then you use that deep research to make a tool based on the references in the competitors you have. And that was the whole small experiment that we did. We got 3 UX designers, and literally in the meeting I asked the same question. And I feel like the outcome they're getting from this is a lot more attached to the human emotions than the overall design.
Would you say it's a
But
lot?
are you testing? So when you say if it's attached to the universe, how much of the sample studies are you doing? You're still having to speak to customers, aren't you?
User research.
You still obviously have to, but let's just say, look at from a product perspective. So you go through your prototype design stuff, then you get the product out there.
Yeah.
People test it, people will give you feedback, you
Yeah.
will be amending according to it. But
Yeah.
the overall structure of the original foundations, I would say, obviously that was coming from the UX design, it was based on the research as she explained.
I would,
But AI tools
yeah,
actually-
but I understand where you're coming from, but actually, if I think about it from my perspective in doing it, the designers would create something. We all know that something needs onboarding. We all know it needs a login. We all know it needs settings. We all have an idea. So the actual user journey, you can pretty much map that out and create something. You can create something. You'll be able to create something in Figma in a day quite quickly to get the feedback. thing with what obviously AI does is it allows you to just do that step a lot quicker. You can do it in 10 minutes, right? And we do that now. We use it to do it in 10 minutes as well. But I still, when I'm trying to figure out how much something's going to cost, because a lot of the time you do that, you know, how much is this going to cost? Look and feel is obviously one thing, right? And because that's return on investment. How much is it going to cost? I don't want to sit down with that human, because the machines will tell me what I want it to tell me. But with the human, I can sit down and map it out in terms of user journey, and I use my experience of building these things realistically to input on that as well. So what I'm trying to get at is we need to work together with them, right? The big word now is human in the loop. Yeah, it's human in the loop.
Can I just add something before
Yeah.
I go ask a question? So, in any area now, AI has helped build templates in a functional way, but templates are not final form. Final form is where it requires human interaction. Even what you're doing with the templates, it still requires your knowledge of whether that template is accurate or not. So there's still a level of human input for you to have a look at that. So that's the first one. The second thing is, I come from a film movie background as well in terms of making films. When I'm in the cinema watching a film, people view the film from a different way. As a filmmaker, I will view elements of the film and how it's constructed, the composition, the lighting, whereas a viewer of the film will be just enjoying the film. They won't be looking at those aspects. So we don't always know, as these designers, creators, what the viewers are looking at or how they experience an emotion. They're just reading, watching the story. So the same thing when we come to UX design, just in any area, you have to have a look at what the filters that we're actually using. Are we using the filters for the role that we're applying or the audience that we're trying to get to? So I don't want to elaborate on that, but I do want to come over to a part that you mentioned about Indonesia and resourcefulness.
This
So
one.
is the resourcefulness, that's it, highly resourceful and adaptive, is it because a lack of resources or the difference in constraints, as Martin has mentioned, the regulation over here? And also, I take it in Indonesia you're more hands-on in industry, whereas over UK at the moment you're still more in education. And with that, do you think that might change as you go from education into industry in the UK and find a lot of it is very similar when it comes to resourcefulness?
Okay. So for me, what makes difference is more on you true, because I'm in the UK. I'm still studying, which is I'm more understand UI UX on the education aspects, which usually we should give the decision based on the journal, based on the previous journals. So when I come back to work, like in which is resourceful, what makes me different is I will implement the whole process, end-to-end process, based on the educational aspect, which is from the journal. So at least I know what's the root cause is, not only like, okay, we should going to the users, doing the all technical aspects, but when I come to the when I come to study, so there are a lot of methods. So I want to, when I come back working, continue working again, I want to make sure that my chosen methods is accurate and based on the research aspects, something like that.
That doesn't make sense because I've come from a point where you find out what works through practice if you don't have an educational background, but it sounds like you're going back to education to find out the reasoning behind why things work.
Yes.
And maybe find different ways to improve on what you were actually
Yes,
doing.
exactly. Because back in Indonesia, for me personally, because my bachelor was in physics engineering, which I switched career. So I want to know on my master's, like on the education sides, what's the really exact true methods that I need to implement when it comes to the real world projects. Yeah, because I'm always self-learning.
What you're doing with authority and references and research.
Yes, exactly.
Cool. Any more questions? Amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone?
Okay,
yeah, yeah.